than it's sold as far as the energy is being used. It pretty much evens out as far as the, in some cases, more of the money stays in that local community, but for the most part, what they found is that these smaller projects, they're working with the utilities to gain their financing, but it's a good mix. It's a good opportunity for whether it's a wind farm that has 100 turbines versus one that has 3 or 4. With solar, companies like Excel have a very active program with their customers if they're interested in investing in rooftop solar. There's tax credits available, there's rebates available. Once again, we're talking about a very small amount of energy as far as how much is actually being produced.
So far.
When we talked also about dispersed generation, distributed generation, here's a good example, folks, is in the lacrosse area. If the idea then is you don't want to build a transmission line, you say, okay, this isn't where we want to go. Well, you still have to get some energy into this region, into this metro area. And distributed generation means let's put up 3 or 4 wind turbines or 6 turbines, and we'll put them right around the cross so that we don't have to build any transmission. We'll just hook them into the local grid. Well, these wind turbines, the most effective ones, are 435, 475 feet tall. The wind capacity in La Crosse area, my guess down in this valley, is maybe 20% of the time those will be generating electricity. So you put up 4, 6, or 8 wind turbines right around the city of La Crosse, if that's the direction that you decide to go. You're generating 20% of the time. Where is that electricity going to come from the other 80% of the time? This is transmission generation. This is why we have to serve you. We have to make sure that this school, that the hospital in La Crosse, that all the subdivisions and homes and communities around here have sufficient energy, and that's what this transmission system needs today. It needs to be upgraded. It needs to be expanded. Distributed generation is a great idea. It's part of that energy mix. Every one of the utilities that's represented in this project is buying from those small projects, whether it's small wind projects, whether it's on farms, whether it's using digesters. But as far as the amount of electricity those produce, it's a very small amount. Basically enough in some cases, or not enough in some cases, to even provide enough electricity for that single homeowner.
Yeah, I think, I talked a little bit earlier about the need for distributed generation, and I'm not an expert, and I don't work for a utility company, and I read the paper, and I want to just make a couple of quotes here. The study that I mentioned, by the Institute for Local Self-Reliance, they reported that 16 U.S. states have added a distributed generation mandate on top of their renewable energy requirements. Germany